here we are in Israel. Dave's behind me, and Joe, our tour guide, and Mara, our pilot. We're flying along. This is Netanya here, the city of Netanya, just north of Tel Aviv. Caesarea is up about another 20 miles. I just wanted to point out along the Mediterranean here, you'll see how high the ground is off the Mediterranean, and this is why Joppa, as well as Caesarea, were the only places really that were the deep port cities, where the ships could come and where they could ship. Herod could ship to Rome all of the product from Israel, and Joppa, of course, is where Jonah sailed away to Tarshish. And here we have one of Israel's largest power plants. It's a clean coal plant, and there's one other plant in all of Israel. We're flying along the coast of the Mediterranean. The actual dimensions of Israel is around 240 miles north-south and about 65 miles east-west. It's a very, very small country. And they have two coal plants. We also see some salination plants where they change the salt water into fresh water. And they are a leader in salination production, and they're helping different countries in Africa to produce plants. All right, we're on the Mediterranean right now, and we've just reached the town of Caesarea. You can see the Colosseum below me here. This was built by Herod the Great. Herod was the king of Israel under Romans rule, and it was Herod who built Caesarea as a port to ship product back to Rome. Herod was known as also Herod the Terrible. He killed most of his family because he didn't want anyone to take over. And he was also a Jew. He did a lot of things for Israel. In fact, he renovated the whole temple, and it's here in Caesarea where Paul came and basically stayed in prison for 2 years. Paul appealed to Caesar, and they brought him to Caesarea, and he went to Rome from Caesarea, but he had to stay here for the weather to be right to go back over the Mediterranean back to Rome. Of course, it was in Rome where Paul wrote the majority of his epistles to the different churches in the surrounding areas. Caesarea was probably one of Herod's greatest accomplishments, and it was the pride of Rome on the Mediterranean Sea. You can also see along here some of the aqueducts, and you can also see the walls surrounding Caesarea as a fortress. And of course we had a running track, and they used to have Olympics here in Caesarea. Now the amphitheater that you see below us originally sat about 8,000. It's been renovated, and today it seats about 15,000, and it's still used for concerts in Israel. You can see Caesarea off here to my left. Here you can see the aqueduct that we're just passing over. The aqueduct ran water into Caesarea, and they brought the water from the inland, from the mountains, ran the water into Caesarea. You can see the high mountains over here. And that was a major accomplishment for the Romans and a great asset for Israel at the time. Well, I'm Rick Pearson with the guys in the back, and we're touring Israel in